Welcome to Project Prison. We already know how the system controls our genes, our time, and our money. But there is one mechanism that we have become accustomed to considering a blessing. It hides behind beautiful words like health, honor, and national pride. We take our children there. We pay money to watch it. We consider it the pinnacle of human achievement. But look at the modern stadium through different eyes. What do you see? A celebration of sport? No. You are looking at a gigantic power plant. Imagine a bowl where 80,000 people have been gathered. Their attention is focused on a single point, the green rectangle below. All these people scream, cry, hate, and adore at the same time. This is not chaos. This is a perfectly tuned process of energy collection. The architects have built a brilliant scheme. They force millions of people to voluntarily give up their life force in a single synchronized impulse. Today is episode 08. We will rip the mask off society's sacred cow. We will prove that professional sport is not about health. It is an ancient ritual of sacrifice, where athletes give their bodies and you give your souls. Today we will talk about why your love for football or boxing is a power cord that you have plugged into your own head with your own hands. The system tells you, it's just a game. If it is a game, why is the price of defeat life itself? Let's recall a story that proves the stadium is a place of execution. It happened in 1994. Andres Escobar was the captain of the Colombian national football team. He was called the Knight of Football. He was the idol of the nation. At the World Cup, in a match against the USA, he made a fatal mistake. He tried to intercept the ball and accidentally deflected it into his own net. An own goal. At that moment, millions of Colombians in front of their screens unleashed a colossal charge of hatred. The national egregore, pumped up with expectations, instantly turned into a demon. 10 days later, Andres returned home to Medellin. He went to a bar to calm down. In the parking lot, 3 men approached him. They didn't ask for an autograph. The killer fired 6 bullets into him. And according to witnesses, after every shot, he shouted, "Goal, goal, goal." Think about this. A man was killed not for a crime, not for money. He was killed because he failed the hopes of the crowd. The killer was merely a tool. The trigger was pulled by the collective energy of millions of fans who believed they had a right to victory. This story is not an exception. It is the pure, distilled essence of professional sport. This is the Colosseum. The crowd demands bread and circuses. And if the gladiator falls, the crowd turns its thumb down. Only today, instead of lions, we have hitmen and heart attacks. There is another story that happened at the Heysel Stadium on May 29, 1985. The European Champions Cup final in Brussels. In the stands were thousands of fans of the Italian Juventus and the English Liverpool. The fans of both teams were separated only by a thin net and a small neutral sector. About an hour before the match, Liverpool fans began throwing stones and breaking through the fence. Juventus fans, trying to escape the aggression, rushed to the brick wall of the stadium. Under the weight of hundreds of bodies, the wall could not stand it and collapsed, burying people under it. Consequences. 39 people died, mostly Italians. Over 600 were injured. The system uses football as a seemingly safe way to release aggression. But at Isley, this mechanism has gotten out of control. The architects of the prison feed on this mass outpouring of fear and anger. The absurdity of the system. The most terrible thing is that the match was not canceled. The players played on the field while the bodies were still lying behind the stands. The system demanded that the show continue so as not to provoke an even greater explosion of violence. Juventus won 1-0, but this cup will forever remain stained with blood. We admire athletes. We are told they are superhumans. But from an energetic point of view, a professional athlete is scorched earth. High-performance sport has nothing to do with health. It is the exploitation of biological resources to the breaking point. Look at gymnasts with broken spines at the age of 15. Look at boxers whose brains turn into mush from hundreds of blows. Look at football players who die of heart failure right on the field on live TV. They voluntarily lay their health on the altar. They live in a mode of constant stress, pain, and fear. Injuries, surgeries, doping, these are not side effects. This is the price the system charges for success. The medal is just a receipt. It is a note from the system. We have accepted your sacrifice. The athlete thinks he is a hero. In reality, he is the perfect slave who burns through his life resource in 10 years to generate emotions for the crowd. But athletes are just the lighter. The real fuel is you. The system is not that interested in the 22 players on the field. It is interested in the 50,000 in the stands and the millions behind the screens. Imagine the Champions League final. 1 billion people freeze simultaneously. You are not running. You are not influencing the result. But you are investing a colossal amount of energy. Your heart beats in the rhythm of the game. Your muscles tense up. The level of cortisol in your blood is the same as that of a soldier in a trench. You scream, you cry, you curse the referee. This is a synchronized emotional explosion. Where does this energy go? It doesn't vanish into thin air. It is harvested. The stadium works like a lens that focuses this flow and transmits it further to the architects. The media specifically inflates the drama of hero versus villain. They create conflict out of thin air. Match of the century, Clash of Titans. You are pumped up like livestock to squeeze the maximum emotion out of you. You think you are relaxing after work with a beer in front of the TV? No. At this moment, you are working. You are charging the prison's battery for free with your own nervous system. And to make sure you don't get off the hook, the system uses the most powerful drug, nationalism. We are told sport unites. This is a lie. Sport divides. Us versus them. History knows cases where this game led to real war. In 1969, the so-called football war broke out between El Salvador and Honduras. It all started with a World Cup qualifying match. Fights broke out in the stands. Fans beat each other with flags. The tension was so strong that a few days later, the Salvadoran army began bombing the neighboring country. 3,000 people died. Think about it. 3,000 lives were sacrificed just because 22 men chased a ball on the grass, and millions believed it was important. The Olympic Games, World Cups, these are modern tools of division. You are forced to identify yourself with someone else's victory. We won, you shout. What exactly did you win? You just gave your energy to an egregore that doesn't even know your name. All these anthems, flags, medal tables. These are tools for the mass synchronization of consciousness. So what should you do? Does this mean you should lie on the couch? Of course not. The body is a temple, and it must be kept clean. But there is a difference between physical culture and sport. Physical culture gives energy. Sport takes it away. Move for yourself. Run in the forest where there are no spectators. Swim in the sea where there is no stopwatch. Do it for the joy of the body, not for a medal around your neck. And most importantly, stop being a fan. Understand, your team's victory will not make you happier, and its defeat should not make you miserable. Do not give your energy to a fight that does not belong to you. Turn off the TV. Walk out of the Colosseum. Your energy is needed for your escape, not to feed the system. This was episode 08. We dismantled the Colosseum. But where did this tradition come from? Who taught humanity to play these games? In the next episode, we will go even deeper into history. We will open myths as an ancient manual. We will show that ancient texts are not fairy tales, but encrypted instructions on how the moon and the system work. Write in the comments, how much nerve have you burned worrying about other people's victories? See you in reality.